What's up, guys? My name is WinduTheMace. Welcome to the channel. We predominantly do from reactions all the way to lightsabers on this channel, but today we do have another lightsaber video for you guys. We are going to be doing another Artsaber lightsaber, so that's going to be really cool. But I just want to take a minute and say thank you if you did stop by and click on the channel. Consider subscribing for future videos and leave a like because, again, these videos are super cool to make. But let's get right to it. All right, guys, so let's get right into this lightsaber review. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is going to be just packaging, right? So worth mentioning, this is just a pretty generic lightsaber from Artsabers. It is a dueling saber. The specific name I will have my editor put on the screen because I don't remember. I think it's called like gray something, but it's just like a generic lightsaber. And the first thing that's worth pointing out is the packaging, because even though it's nice, even though it's clean, it's simple, right? It pales in comparison compared to what you get on a more premium lightsaber, like one of the replicas, for example. I'll show you here. My Mace Windu lightsaber came with its own pelican case, basically, like nice sturdy combination locks on the top. The other side says, "May the Force be with you," right? Very, very nice case. Very amazing unboxing experience on that one, right? I will say this one being a little bit more simplistic, this feels like some packaging that I would just get at a Disney store, or something I'd pick up from Walmart or a hobby store or something like that, right? So very, very different experience. Consider that if you're ever gifting a lightsaber to somebody. The more premium experience is top notch, but in its own, this is going to be just mainly for dueling. Like specifically this lightsaber in my case was going to be, or is going to be, for my little nephew. It's his birthday, and for the first time ever, he wants to have a lightsaber birthday party. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of go all out for him. We're gonna get him a little Jedi outfit. We're gonna go ahead and get him his own little lightsaber robe and stuff. It's just kind of cool things, trying to get him a little bit more into Star Wars. Everything comes very, very neatly packed. This is a benefit. Whenever it came in the Pelican case, it really did feel like it was almost, even though the case is nicer, it was almost just kind of thrown in there, if that makes sense. And I hate to use that word because everything was wrapped properly, but this has a very, very snug look to everything right off the bat. I'll go ahead and show you guys what it is exactly that we have here. All right, so first thing here that we're gonna look into is gonna be this almost like acrylic looking stand that you're gonna be able to just kind of sit your lightsaber on top. Very different from the one that came in the Mace Windu. I'll go ahead and mount these and put them side by side to kind of show you what that looks like. Now, this acrylic stand, it's pretty simple. From what I see, it literally just looks like a slab in its own, and then you slide on the two ends on here. We'll go ahead and get that built just so you guys can kind of see it assembled. And then I'm also going to put it next to the Mace Windu, or the one that came with the Mace Windu lightsaber, so you guys can see that side by side. Now, it does look like the acrylic has some sort of protection layer on it. It looks like you guys are gonna have to peel this in order for it to actually look very, very clean. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not too sure how to do this easily. So see here, if we could just kind of peel one corner. There we go. The rest of it is coming off quite simply. Go from here. The bottom side of it is also protected. Even though I kind of have half a mind of just leaving it like this, because it gives it almost like a flat finish at the bottom and then clear on top. I'll kind of leave it like this. I'm just gonna leave it like that, at least for now. And then it looks like the stands just kind of pop into place. Let's do one of these at a time, because I apparently am not the best at this. Okay, I guess first of all, do these fit? You know what? These have their own little acrylic on them. That's what's going on. Okay. Well, the more you know, the more you learn. So, how to get these little acrylic things? And I guess these are probably either like machine cut, 3D printed, etc. Wow, that is a lot more see-through once you have the film off. Definitely much different vibe to it. But I guess now that it's been peeled, we should be able to theoretically fit it in a little bit smoother. Maybe. There we go. Now that part fits. Got you. Go ahead and get this other side done. If I can do this faster than the average bear might be able to do this. Jesus. Go ahead and include on here. I do fully realize that given the fact that this is clear, it's actually going to be a little bit more difficult to capture the footage of. That's part of the reason also why I left the bottom part a little bit tan, just so you can kind of see it a little bit better. But now I'm going to put this one here, the Mace Windu one, or there was the one that was included in the Mace Windu one. The first obvious thing to point out is the fact that one of these is significantly taller, right? Aside from that, I also want to say I kind of dig the design aesthetic of the first one because it's just a flat base. It just kind of sits there flat. As opposed to the Mace Windu one, it's got like this little weird handle-like thing going on, which I didn't fully understand when I was putting it together, but I'm like, you know what? I guess it kind of looks cool when it comes down to it. But if I had to choose between both of these, honestly, I would 100% choose this one. Then here we have what looks like a little plaque. Now let's go ahead and get it out of the bag, see exactly what this looks like. I'm calling it a token. I guess we could call it a credit or a lab of the sorts. This seems like the backside is peelable. I don't know if it's like a sticker. You could stick it on somewhere, maybe put it like on top of my computer case here. Yeah. So there it is, guys. Basically, just saying Artsaber when it comes to it. Cool. Got their logo. It's nice. It's metal. I don't know many uses that you're going to be able to find as far as this goes. I could see some people maybe, I don't know, putting it on their fridge, putting it on their car, on their computer setups, or just kind of keeping it in your wallet. I don't see much use for this, but it is kind of cool, honestly. We do have a blade plug. This is it's a different blade plug, actually. Now, interestingly enough, this blade plug, it reminds me of a jet turbine. Let's get it out of the bag so we can actually see what it looks like. So this looks like a jet turbine, or like a Van Helsing bullet, if you get where I'm coming from. Almost like a medieval shotgun shell. It looks kind of cool. Let me pull out the plug that came with the Mace Windu lightsaber, just so you guys can kind of see those side by side. So here we are. The stunt lightsaber versus the Mace Windu lightsaber blade plug, right? I mean, the blade plug for the Mace Windu one, first of all, it has a NeoPixel bottom. The other one is hollow. This actually lights up very well and it shines through. This, I can imagine, is made for RGB setups where it's almost like a flashlight shining through. So this might not work in a NeoPixel setup. I kind of wish they would have included a NeoPixel blade plug because we did pay extra to do the NeoPixel setup. So A little bit disappointed there that they threw an RGB blade plug in here. But I will say, as far as appearances go, I really do dig the aesthetic of the silver one. I don't know, you guys let me know down in the chat below. Which one do you guys think actually looks a little bit on the cooler side? Then, of course, we have our lightsaber, Allen key, and extra screws. They came in a little Ziploc bag in this case. Over in the Mace Windu one, it actually came into 2 separate cases. It came with the USB by itself, and then a little Ziploc bag with all the tools and screws and everything by itself. But kind of cool to see overall, right? This is just pretty standard, actually, guys. So in here, we're gonna see that it includes our USB-A to USB-C connector. And the length of these, it's about a foot. It's honestly not too crazy in length. Just enough for you to plug everything in, but nothing actually nuts when it comes down to it. And then, if you can see within here, we basically just get an, what's it called? An Allen key, and then a couple of threads as far as tying down the blade itself. And I'll show you guys how to do that here momentarily. But when it comes down to it, it's just really simplistic, just Allen key. Basically, nothing special about this. Wow! This brings gloves. Very tiny gloves. But this brings 2 gloves. Now, these are like cloth gloves. These are the type of gloves that you use whenever, I guess, you're making like a hand video, or maybe this is supposed to be a review video glove. And these are actually so bright white that the light is shadowing them out. I'm gonna darken the light a little bit just so you guys can kind of see what the material is all about and everything. Just like a very soft, sort of raggy glove. I don't know any realistic use for these besides maybe putting it on my hand and then going from there, right? I'm definitely not going to put these on, guys. If you guys think I should wear these for future videos, leave a comment below. I don't know. You might see me with one and I might pull that Michael Jackson there. But besides that, no thank you. We're going to pass on that. All right, and then it does also come with a little, kind of like a little claim your free accessory ticket that they include. Very, very cool. Little chance to win a little something. And then the manual comes included as well. Now, the manual is really cool. Very kid-friendly instructions, pictures, etc. Really, really cool. I do like that on the manual, it actually shows pictures of their other products that you can buy. Very cool. That's definitely another way to get parents to spend more money, right? All right. So then, for some reason, and help me out here, guys, I'm pretty sure this is grip tape, right? Now, given the fact that this is more of a dueling lightsaber, I guess that makes sense that they would include some grip tape. That way you can customize it to your own liking, your own pattern, your own design, etc. Very DIY. I didn't think buying this, it would have to be something separate. I thought it would just come with its own grip tape. So that's going to be interesting. I'll go ahead and give you guys a little close up here on that. What it looks like. Kind of cool. Whatever. I don't necessarily like that the most. And then for the lightsaber itself. All right. And there is the lightsaber itself. Now, if anything, I will say the packaging on this one, much simpler. The Mace Windu lightsaber came fully wrapped and enclosed in saran wrap all the way around. This just comes in a little, popping bubble bag, so to speak. So definitely a lot more simplistic when it comes to that. Check out the design though, guys. You can't tell me that does not look clean. Now, this design specifically is basically, as you guys can see, it's more of a gunmetal finish that it has. The button itself is actually a kind of copper silver looking, depending on the angle. So you will find a little bit of contrast when it comes down to the 2 finishes. As you can see, completely bare. This is where you're going to put your grip tape, your different designs, etc. Very, very interesting to show. The first thing would be there are 2 mounting holes. Now the Mace Windu lightsaber only has one mounting hole. And actually, oh no, I see what happened. So the Windu lightsaber has one mounting hole on each side. This one has two mounting holes vertically. And they're both where the button is. So you're always looking at the two holes. I almost wish those two holes were on the back side, so you wouldn't have to face it if you're looking towards the button, right? Then we also do see here interesting bottom design that we got here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is little holes that are on the open side of the bottom, but there's actually two series of holes. These holes reach the inner portion of the chamber, and then the outer holes are literally just sitting up top. There is a thread on here. I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe you can turn this into a dual bladed setup with that thread. Not 100% sure. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think there. I'm actually going to go ahead and take this apart a little bit, see to what extent we can easily take it apart. So the emitter comes off. That's kind of cool. I guess you could maybe buy a different emitter or swap out parts between some of the dueling lightsabers and stuff like that. As you guys can see, we did get the NeoPixel upgrade in there. So it's got more of a more complicated setup for the actual tubes and the lights to connect to. But kind of cool. Let me see. Oh, we can also spin it off right here. Very nice. And now we see here our speaker. We see the board in there, the battery. I don't see how we can easily access the rest of this. In the Mace Windu lightsaber, this actually sticks out and the entire board is exposed with the little SD card extended. But this looks like it's going to be deep in there. And I'll be honest with you, maybe undo this Allen key here and the whole thing will slide out, but we're not going to do that for this video. Go ahead and put everything here back together. But I will say, I really like this finish, guys. This is a really strong looking finish, a really clean looking finish. Like, any kid that gets a lightsaber like this is going to be so ecstatic, so happy, because they're going to be able to have their own lightsaber. I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like with the blade. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in the blade plug that we got from the Mace Windu saber, so you guys can see what that'll look like with a proper NeoPixel blade plug in there. Now, if you hold the button for 5 seconds, you should be able to turn it on. There it is. Simple on. This is lighting up independently. The blade is not on. Kind of cool. Just so the kid will know, it's like, hey, the switch is illuminated. You press that to turn it on. There we go. I'll be honest. So I don't like how the switch is blue and the saber's red. I almost wish that it color matched. Oh no, I'm sorry guys, my mistake. So it's not pushed in all the way or screwed in. The blade is actually, it's white right now, as you guys can see. So it's just, I haven't screwed it in or anything. It's just kind of sitting there. Now, if you guys can see it this way, it's shining white light there. Let me see what it looks like with the blade plug that actually came with it. Maybe they included this blade plug specifically for a reason, even though it does look like an RGB blade plug. Once you actually plug this in, I mean, you can kind of see through it. Okay. You know what? Honestly, guys, this will suffice. It is completely loose. Be mindful, unless you screw it down, it will fall right out. So just be mindful of that. Overall, though, super cool. I do notice eventually it'll turn itself off. The little light will also turn off, but this actually stays on all the time. The Mace Windu one doesn't have this. It's just a solid button. So this is actually going to drain your battery even further. while you don't use it. So just be mindful of that, especially when you have kids or etc. If you're trying to just probably keep a handy brick wall adapter because it doesn't bring one, so you can charge everything. But yeah, let's show you guys what it looks like with the actual blade and everything screwed in, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. So here we are without the green screen. I have the blade in here. As we showed earlier, the light always does turn on blue regardless what actual blade itself color might be. Just to kind of show you guys, I'm about 5'8", comes down to it. This is a pretty long blade. Let's turn it on so you guys can see what it looks like, sounds like, etc. Yo, I love how bright NeoPixels are. And again, guys, be mindful. This was $160 plus tax, free shipping. And if you use code Windu at checkout, you actually get another discount on top of everything. But guys, for a kid, I just hit the wall behind me. Super cool, bro. This, again, it's $160. Definitely nothing too nutty. And again, you guys are hearing the clash because I'm smacking it all around me. I don't have the space to be able to swing this around too easily, but super cool. Couple different things. It has different fonts on it. You can change the color easily. Just hold the button, I want to say 3 seconds, like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Oh, like a little bit of a deeper green, right? Some very Return of the Jedi vibes. 1, 2, 3. What was that? 1, 2, 3. I don't know what it's saying. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I just turned it off. Yeah, that's probably the most annoying thing about this setup. When it comes down to the more premium experience, I can literally sit here and just hold the button and it'll swap to a different font. And it'll say the name of the font. It'll say the Champion, the Master, the Fallen Apprentice, etc. Here, if I hold the button for 5 seconds, you're just going to see the light's going to flicker a couple times and then it just turns off. Right, so you really got to time as to how many flickers happen as far as what you're trying to achieve, right? So here, I'll give you an example. Let's read into the menu. All right, so it says to adjust volume, hold the button for 1 second. To switch sound fonts, hold the button for 2 seconds. Switch BGM, background music, hold the button for 3 seconds. FOC off and on, hold the button for 4 seconds. What does FOC stand for? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. And then power saving mode, no operation for 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, it'll shut itself off. But, so let's go ahead and go in here. Let's go ahead and go into a different font. So hold it for 2 seconds while it's turned off. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear the little bit of a winding sound. Now, okay, different animation. I will say, come to think of it, this one's a lot lighter than the Mace Windu one, and it almost feels a little bit more responsive. In the Mace Windu one, you really got to swing it to hear all the different sounds. So that is a good little benefit as to this one. If it's more for effect, better for kids. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Try a different sound font. So now we know 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. We heard it again. Super cool. And it's always going to go back to the color that you had originally chosen. Let's see if we can actually figure out how to change the color here. Also, interestingly enough, okay, so it says when the saber is turned on, twist to turn off the lightsaber. So it's got gesture controls. You're going to be able to just twist it and it'll turn off. Maybe. There it goes. Okay. Color change when the blade is pointed down, hold the button and then twist the saber. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn it back on. different effect. Oh, now it's like flickering almost, or like pulsating. On my side, guys, this is flickering a lot. I know on your side it just looks like a wave, but this is like strobing, like strobe light status on my side. So I definitely don't recommend that one. All right, let's see.
I'm told it is the dark saber.
Dark saber? Oh. Okay. So it's kind of cool. You still got a couple different fonts in here. Honestly, guys, I will say for what you get for the price, not bad, right? I will say there are a couple of little subtle things on the premium sabers that really do make sense. I'll try to pull out the Windu lightsaber here in a second so you guys can kind of see some of these side by side. But honestly, still cool. Still cool. For the bang for buck, I would honestly, for my nephew, I would say, hey, let's just find a color you like, find a design you like a little font, and then be like, hey, he's probably not going to figure out, hold it for 3 seconds, a specific color will come out, etc. Ooh, Revan vibes, okay. But yeah, honestly, so let me see. 1 Mississippi, 2, 3, 4.
Star Killer.
Star Killer. Yeah, honestly, definitely worth it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put it side by side with the Windu Saber so you guys can see what that's like. All right, so here they are. Putting them side by side. Mace Windu lightsaber. Generic dueling replica. Not replica, excuse me. Generic dueling lightsaber. Honestly, weight-wise, they're both about the same. I just didn't realize it because I was only holding one of them at a time. But weight-wise, they actually both are about the same. Of course, this one comes with the included grips. This one, we're going to have to put some grip tape on. A lot smoother. This one, definitely a lot easier to kind of twirl and everything, just based off of the design. This one, given the grip and everything that's on there, definitely a little bit harder to kind of just spin around with the very unique Mace Windu design. Now, I'll go ahead and turn these both on. Give me 1 second. All right, so one thing that I want to show you guys on the stunt one, when you switch a sound profile, you hold the button 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll make different sounds. No, here we go. That's the sound that it makes whenever the sound profile has been changed. That's a 2 second. So if I hold 1, 2, that's how you know that the sound profile was changed. And then from there, you have to kind of try and guess which one is which, right? You start it and then just kind of wait for it. This is interesting. So it's on a mode right now that it only lights up when I turn it. Why would anybody want that? That's so weird. All right, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Oh no, so that effect is actually when you hold it for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Butcher.
The Butcher. This one is so much more complicated to use, guys. Bro, what in the light color? What is this? Merry Christmas, I guess. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. Kind of changing rainbow mode, I dig it. Okay, so holding it for 3 seconds changes the pattern of the blade or the style of the blade, right? And then I'm assuming changing it for holding it for 4 seconds is what changes the startup. This is all just so complex. No, that's still the other startup. I don't like the startup at all.
Lights off.
All right, let's see. Same in the profile. 1, 2. Okay, it's a little bit simpler. Now again, hold it for 2. 1, 2. Kind of normal, even though it's stuck on rainbow mode for some reason. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Lights off.
Guys, honestly, this is just so confusing. On the WinduTheMace one, just to kind of show you guys, it's got the different sound profiles. You literally just hold the button for 5 seconds.
The princess.
It'll read a random font, right? Like the princess, this Princess Leia. I already know. That's Princess Leia, right? Pretty simple. Like, it's literally that simple. I can change the color if I wish by just different gesture controls or just holding it for 2 seconds and it'll change. But yeah, it's even here.
Fallen Apprentice Magenta.
Look at that. You see what I mean? Like, for me, the premium experience of me just hearing the font, it's got a word to it. I don't gotta guess to which one I'm on. For example, this one says magenta, so I'm not gonna change the color on this one, but let's go ahead and go on to the next font.
The Dark Lord Order.
Dark Lord Order. Nice red lightsaber, right? And then if we want to change the color from there, we would be able to. It's just so much simpler to just have. See? And every font, the master, you see how it has its own little effects? Different starting effects, different sounds, etc. It's almost like a profile that you're loading in. Right? Whereas to this, again, oh, sorry. Whereas to this saber, we turn it on. Look at this. Totally random. I'm like, okay, all right, hold on. Change the color. So changing the color is pretty simple. You just hold it for 2 seconds. So changing the font. All right, hold on. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Prepare a boarding party.
Something Vader? No, see, I have no idea why it just made a Darth Vader sound and it's still in the same font, right? I think we're literally just changing only the sound at that point. Like I said, the background music, which that makes sense for somebody, right? Sorry, not trying to be a hater. Okay. So when the lightsaber is off, I'll just power 1, 2. We heard the little sound. Still the same blade color, but the startup change. So I guess 2 is changing the sounds, And honestly, the instructions, the one thing that I really don't like about the instructions for this, so it's got RGB instructions and then it's got NeoPixel instructions, right? But there are 3 NeoPixel instructions for different setups. I'm assuming ours is the manual 1 button, right? Go figure. All right, so it says when blade is off, turn on. To turn on, just hold the button, then tap. Okay. Adjust volume, hold the button for 1 second. Switch boot effect, hold the button for 2 seconds. Okay. Switch blade effect, hold button for 3 seconds. So that's what it was, guys. We were just reading the wrong instructions. So we just changed the blade effect. I want to change that startup. So I'm going to have to go through, modify it. Look at that, the rainbow blade. All right, so I'm going to have to modify it specifically for the setup that I want for my little nephew. So that's going to take a little bit of time. But honestly, guys, if you can sit here and manually be like, okay, 1, 2, I don't like that startup. 1, 2, I don't like that startup. Definitely something that you can do, right? This allows you to mix and match that way. The premium one, it's more of you load different sound profiles on there, and you can load custom ones as well. It comes with a little USB card reader, and you'll be able to basically just have different profiles. And when you select a profile, it tells you the name and it's already pre-programmed, that entire profile. So I do prefer that premium experience as opposed to the mix and match of this, but this does have its benefits, and again, cost is one of them. This was $160 on the Artsaber website before discount, before taxes, and actually taxes might be including, correct me on that one. But the Mace Windu one was $450. 160 versus 450, guys. Honestly, for just 160, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Super fun. Let me know what you guys think about this lightsaber. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you watched it this far into the video, I really do appreciate you. I'd love making these sort of videos. And yeah, just make sure that you guys use code Windu at checkout for that extra discount. There will be a link listed down below to this specific saber as well. Yo, actually, before I forget, I'm gonna have my editor put somewhere over here the thumbnail for the Mace Windu lightsaber. If you haven't checked that video out, check out that video that we did, and hopefully we can make a lot more of these tutorial videos, or not tutorial videos, unboxing, you know, kind of reaction videos for different lightsabers, and make it a cool little thing that'll keep happening. See you around.